Welcome to a community update from the Department of Senior Affairs. I'm your host, Ed Nunez. Today's title of the show is New Mexico Gas Company Energy Efficiency Rebate Programs. With us to talk about that is Drew Jones, Senior Program Developer at the New Mexico Gas Company. Drew, thanks so much for being our guest.
Thank you for having me.
You know, I think we talked about some programs for seniors, and it's important. There's going to be rebates available. The show is centered around senior issues and senior affairs, and anything we can do to help seniors get a rebate or save, plus these things you're going to talk about, low flows and water, shower head kits, things like that. We're moving forward to a different time, Drew, and a lot of things. So I think the show's important for a number of different reasons.
Right, yeah. Happy to be here. Thank you for having me. We're definitely excited to talk about some of the programs and offerings we have that customers can all take advantage of, especially those senior customers that are looking to save some money on their monthly utility bill and save some money at the end of the month.
Everything counts, as we said before we got on the show. There's just so many things. A lot of people, a lot of seniors that we deal with in the Department of Senior Affairs are on fixed incomes.
That's exactly right.
And so if anything, and plus, we talked about that, certainly there's a pocket of poverty in New Mexico and in Albuquerque, and whatever that can be done, to give some information out. Information, how important is that, to get some information out so they're aware of what's available for them, sometimes right just at their fingertips.
That's exactly right. We definitely want to put out all those low-cost, no-cost measures and things that people can do to make their homes more efficient on their own. But there's also things that we can help with as a utility to help them and encourage them to get their house to become more energy efficient.
And a lot of things too, I think a lot of people, whether it be computers or things that they don't know, they might be scared of, do I have to install it, do I have to get it, is it hard to put in? These things aren't like that. They're pretty user-friendly. I'm sure that they were developed with things like that in mind.
Definitely. So these are, and I believe you are exactly referring to our low-flow showerhead program, and we can get into this. I don't know about jumping around in the
Go ahead, start with that, and then we got the questions
we can
right
definitely
here. Go ahead.
talk about this.
Talk about that.
And this is definitely a do-it-yourself type program. So what it is here, and any customer can go on, residential customer, and request these on the New Mexico Gas Company website, and that is www.nmgco.com. Once you get there, look for Rob. Rob is our little mascot character that promotes energy efficiency for New Mexico Gas Company. What the contents of this package are is we have a very nice, high-quality, low-flow shower head, which is a 1.5 gallon per minute. You can take a look. It's a good quality construction there.
It's way different than all the ones that we're used to seeing.
It's definitely not one of the cheap freebie ones that you would see in a lot of kits. This is definitely a high quality, constructed piece of equipment here. So you not only receive the 1.5 gallon per minute shower head, you also get this swivel faucet aerator that goes on your kitchen, and it swivels around so you can reach all the areas of your sink. You also receive two of these bathroom faucet aerators, which simply screw right in to the bottom of your bathroom faucet. A roll of Teflon tape, plumber's tape if you will, which makes sure all of your seals are tight with the threading. Some simple instructions in both English and Spanish in case you need to refer to instructions on how to properly install any of these pieces. And also another little brochure that speaks about some of our other programs, both residential and commercial programs, which we'll also get into. So what this kit entails really is it is a absolutely free kit to our residential customers. You go on to nmgco.com, you look for Rob. There'll be a simple short set of questions that you will need to answer. The first one to get you through the door will be your New Mexico Gas Company account number and zip code. Once you fill those in, it'll take you to the next step. And it's about 5 or 6 real simple questions asking about some characteristics of your house, how many people occupy your house, how many showers you have in the home, things that help us determine the effectiveness of the program.
And this is on the phone.
This is all online.
Online?
Yes.
Okay, but user-friendly,
definitely
a lot of people are going to ask about that.
Very intuitive and very easy to walk through. We've actually done a little bit of work going out to some of the senior centers here in the city, this Department of Senior Affairs senior centers, and I've had the opportunity to speak to a couple of the lab instructors and kind of walk them through how this can work as a lab activity activity for some of the seniors that attend some of these senior centers that have a computer lab.
Which most of us do.
Yeah, definitely. So it's definitely an easy exercise to do on the computer. It's very intuitive, and you can really walk yourself through real simple instructions. You follow it through. You submit your request, and if you haven't already requested one, you will receive one in 4 to 6 weeks in the mail.
Okay, all right.
What we say is this has a manufactured suggested retail value of $38. It's absolutely free to our customers. Over the life of this package, you will save $150 in natural gas cost and 75,000 gallons of water, which is super important here in our dry state of New Mexico for sure.
Wow, you know what? That's a lot.
Yeah,
And I think one of the things that a lot of people worry about, the water table, things like that, and we're plagued by drought. California is. Hopefully it gets better. This is a desert. A lot of people, I have a lawn in my backyard. I might have to give that up. I hope not. I
That's
really
exactly
like
right.
my lawn.
Yeah.
But let's be realistic. When you talk about saving any kind of gallons, but you're talking about 75,000 significance in Drew, just for the future. I don't know what the future looks like, but as far as what you're looking at to saving even more water, then I'm sure there's going to be more kits like this available than less, even more so.
Definitely. So New Mexico Gas Company over the last 3 years have been offering this design of a low-flow showerhead program where we actually deliver it, drop it in the mail, customers receive it in home. We have been doing about 5,000 kits a year. When you add up all the water savings, we're sitting at about 150, 175 million gallons of water saved. So we're talking about some significant water savings through these energy efficient pieces of equipment as well.
So important there. Let's jump into these questions.
Sure.
What energy efficiency programs does New Mexico Gas Company have available?
Sure. So we definitely, as you already saw, this is our free low-flow showerhead program where customers can go online and request this absolutely free of charge. We have 2 commercial programs. We have a commercial solutions program and a SCORE program. And SCORE is an acronym for Schools Conserving Resources. And these programs, of course, are looking at natural gas savings for both commercial business customers and these school facilities, but also water savings as well. So we definitely have programs that encourage business customers and school facilities to install low-flow shower heads, faucet aerators, and things like that that also save gas and water. In our both programs, well, they work very similar. They both offer a set of prescriptive measures, and it's measures anything from furnaces, boilers, water heaters. We have commercial laundry equipment and a whole slew of commercial food service equipment that New Mexico Gas Company offers incentives on when customers choose to purchase and install these energy efficient pieces of equipment in their businesses or school facilities. Further on, we have a Energy Smart program, and what this is it's administered through the Mortgage Finance Authority, and this is our whole home weatherization program. So we partner with DOE, EPA, and we leverage funding. New Mexico Gas Company will pay for items like furnaces, water heaters, insulation, things that affect the natural gas in some of our income qualified customers' houses through this Energy Smart program. And then they leverage other funding sources to take care of things like lighting, refrigerators, cooling needs, things of that nature. So that's definitely a great program. I encourage all customers, this is definitely one that fits in line with our senior customers for sure, to go to our website at nmgco.com. Of course, look for Rob, and we have all the information for all of our programs. Once you click on that, you'll get to our energy efficiency homepage, and you can find out about the commercial programs. As I just mentioned, our Energy Smart program, which is the weatherization assistance program. We also have an Energy Star furnace program, which encourages homeowners and production builders or home builders to install high-efficient Energy Star furnaces in homes. We know that installing an Energy Star furnace will provide lower operating costs for the tenant for years to come. So we definitely like to see our builders, as well as retrofits, homeowners installing Energy Star furnaces and Energy Star equipment. We also have an Energy Star tankless water heater program, and this is typically being used or utilized mostly in new construction, but it's also available for retrofits. So Steve, if you or I wanted to swap out our storage tank water heater for a much more efficient tankless water heater with all the bells and whistles and features that those have to offer, we have rebates available for that as well. For a new home, new construction, we offer $300 for that rebate, and for a homeowner like you or myself, you could earn $375 on replacing that and going to an Energy Star tankless water heater. We also have an insulation program for residential, and that's encouraging customers to add an additional R19 or greater, which is about 6 inches of insulation, to your current pre-existing level of insulation.
Wow, you know, that's quite a bit, and I think with all the things that you mentioned, I think one of the things that I wanted to ask you about schools, you mean New Mexico schools anywhere? Dexter, Des Moines, Reserve,
right?
You know,
So,
schools anywhere. I think, you know, people might think it's just here in Albuquerque, but you're saying
that's a
you
very good
represent
point.
New Mexico. So,
that's a very good point.
yeah.
So when we started this program, it started as a pilot program, and we worked with 5 school districts. We worked with Gallup-McKinley, we worked with Los Lunas, Santa Fe, Rio Rancho, and just a sliver of APS, because APS is being so big. And this was a pilot to really test the theory, the concept of this program design. And what we went out and we did is, through our work with a third-party administrator, we went and worked with not only the facility folks in a school or a school facility or the district, but we got the superintendents involved, and we got the financial decision makers, and we brought them all to the table and got them all on the same page to talk about energy efficiency opportunities in their facility. And when the facilities folks got to talking to the finance folks, and we started talking about simple paybacks and what types of projects we could identify that they could actually jump on board with and start planning in their planning cycles for budgeting, we really were able to see some things start moving. And we've actually been very successful in working with those 5 school districts, so much so that it is now, for 2013, had opened up as a full-fledged program with all schools in our New Mexico Gas Company service territory eligible to participate in.
Boy, you know, again, how important is that, conserving our precious resources, natural gas, water, for the future? You know, we always say, got to leave something behind for the future, and
Definitely.
with the drought that we're in, and you know, you want to. We just don't know what the water table is going to look like even 5 years from now.
Yeah,
so
you're definitely
I
right.
think anything we can do to conserve that precious resource, how important is that? So, gosh, you guys are doing so much. I'm highly impressed. Let's get into some more questions here.
Sure.
I think you already mentioned how we can sign up for the New Mexico Energy Smart program. Did you mention that?
Yeah, I did, and I just want to reiterate, though, you definitely go to New Mexico Gas Company, www.nmgco.com. Look for Rob. He's in the top banner. You click on him, you'll get all of the energy efficiency offerings and programs. And there you can scroll through. The top row is going to be all your residential programs. On the bottom is going to be the Energy Smart program, which is weatherization assistance for income qualified households. So I do believe a lot of our senior customers would fit in that category, and that's definitely a great program to look into.
Drew, you know, I think the other question we wanted to ask here, what programs are most important for customers wanting to reduce their bills? You mentioned so many of them.
Yeah,
what do they
definitely.
nail down as far as, you know, they're going to want to know any savings at all.
Right,
Very important.
definitely. So really the way we like to look at it at New Mexico Gas Company is we definitely want to encourage customers to pursue those low cost, no cost measures and programs and measures first of all, of course. And that could be things like this. This is a no cost to customers. This would be a great way to start your energy efficient ways, if you will, kind of dip your toe in the water of energy efficiency. So we definitely encourage that. When we're talking low cost, no cost, the biggest thing someone can do in their home is weather stripping, caulking, sealing. So really what we tell people is look at your door. If you stand 10 feet back, look at your door. If you see light coming through your door, in the wintertime, hot air is going out through that light, through those cracks. And in the summertime, hot air is coming in through those cracks. So that's definitely a first place, is caulk, weather strip, and seal those cracks around doors and windows. That's definitely going to be our first recommendation that you do for your home. After that, a great benefit, and it lines up with one of our programs, is insulation. Insulation provides for year-round savings. It not only helps keep the warm air in the wintertime, but it also helps keep that cool air in the summertime. So you also get a lot of electric savings and AC savings from insulation as well, which a lot of people don't realize. So definitely, we would talk about those low cost, no cost. I would then prioritize insulation, probably a little above that. Then we start looking at our furnaces and water heating and those types of pieces of equipment. And then if you think of energy efficiency almost as a pyramid, you'd be looking at your low cost, no cost, your weatherization, your insulation, your Energy Star type equipment, heating and water heating. And then at the very tip of that, you would talk about your renewables, your solar water heating, your PV, things of that nature.
So with all those things said, several of those categories that you mentioned falls into, any homeowner is going to have something like that. So there's programs available for them
Definitely.
to help reduce their bills. Very important information here. Why does New Mexico Gas Company offer energy efficiency programs? And I can only guess, and you've explained some of it. What else?
Right. So of course, it's good for the environment. It's something that everybody is really interested in for all the reasons that you talked about, the depleting natural resources and preserving some of those things and using as little as we absolutely need, not being wasteful. So there's definitely a trend and a movement going towards that shift of that way of thinking, if you will. Energy efficiency gives somewhat a level of control to customers that want to control their energy cost. If you're interested in saving energy, then you would probably be a customer that's interested in a programmable thermostat and insulation and things like that. If you're not as interested or not concerned, then you're probably not as interested in energy efficiency and offerings and programs offered by the utility or the government. And then finally, it's also included in the Efficient Use of Energy Act, which pretty much is designed by legislation, and it's passed off to the New Mexico Public Regulation Commission that all utilities of a certain size must offer energy efficient, cost-effective programs to customers.
Wow. Okay. So it's come a long way, I think, with the savings of these energy efficiency programs really started taking place 10 years ago, was it? I mean,
Yeah.
when did they really start coming of age?
Yeah, I think first laws in New Mexico were passed in 2005, and I think customers probably started seeing program material and information in 2007, 2008. So it is fairly new to the state, but it definitely has a big support behind it, and it's a big growing trend to become green, and it's definitely the kind of buzzword that has been thrown around so much of businesses and households becoming green.
Even on the federal level too. I mean,
Definitely.
buildings becoming green. So even
Yeah.
in the construction that you mentioned, they're taking these things into account as well.
Definitely.
Okay, so
They
that's
sure are.
really important too.
Yes, sir.
Well, who should participate in New Mexico Gas Company energy efficiency programs?
So really we talked about, whoever's interested in saving money, whoever's interested in becoming more efficient in their energy usage in their home, whether it's individual households or if it is a business or a school facility. That we have options for almost all segments of our customers, and we encourage all customers to really take a look at their own usage, obtain information to give them a better understanding of what they're using. Sometimes you can find sources out there that'll tell you what an average household your size should be using. EnergyStar.gov offers a energy yardstick where you can kind of measure your home and consumption to your neighbors on the block or in your zip code, which gives customers a better understanding of where they are and where they may have opportunities to save.
A lot of data available there, and there's always going to be some people that waste, just waste and aren't aware, and there's also other people that conserve because they can't afford those high bills.
You're definitely
that this
right.
program is designed to help.
Yeah, definitely. I had read not too long ago, and I believe it was through some material from MFA, Mortgage Finance Authority. They talked about low-income households spending upwards of 16% of annual budgets on energy costs, whereas non-low-income households only spend about 4%. So that's a very big disparity between a non-low-income household and a low-income household. So programs like this definitely help to manage those energy costs that we all see and acknowledge are on the rise, especially for those customers like you had mentioned are on a fixed income who their annual income isn't rising at that same pace as energy costs.
A lot of this goes back, Drew, to before when there was wood stoves and things like that. People still have lived like that. Their grandmothers or mothers, or some people. We have people of those ages that were raised with that consider that my father considered that. He didn't put a swamp cooler in our house until I was 17 or 18.
Wow.
The one he had was in the window.
Yeah.
And I remember I just was used to that.
Yeah.
Didn't know anything else.
Right.
But my friends would come over and it would be swelter, but my father he grew up in San Jose.
Yeah.
They didn't have that.
Right.
It was a luxury.
Yeah.
So if he didn't have to spend for it, he wasn't going to do it.
Yeah,
So
you're absolutely
a
right.
lot of people are still
And I think
of
you
that
bring a
mind.
good point too. When I first came over to my current position, I learned a lot of what energy efficiency was all about. And there is a stark contrast between conservation and energy efficiency. Conservation is you put a sweater on and put the thermostat at 65 and you go to bed for the night. Energy efficiency is you leave it at 70 degrees and you go to bed in your normal pajamas and not a jacket or a sweater, because you're going to be using the same amount of energy to keep your house at 70 if you have an Energy Star furnace, energy efficient heating equipment, as opposed to standard older furnaces or heating equipment that use the exact same amount and for that same time frame.
Interesting. So it doesn't really matter either way, and a lot of people probably still don't know that. But, I'm going to ask you this too, because a lot of people still, especially our senior population, are frozen sometimes when it comes to computers. They can't get online. So let's just say the program that you talked about,
Yeah.
they're unable to get online, and some people just can't. They just can't do it.
Yeah.
So is there someone available on the phone
There
to help
definitely
things like
is.
that?
We
That's
definitely
important.
acknowledge that there is that online marketing and online activity isn't for everybody. So we do offer a toll-free number where customers, it's at the bottom of, if you go to NewMexicoGasCompany.com, you scroll to the bottom of the low-flow showerhead program, there's a 1877 number, and customers can call that number and get support through a call center, and they can do their request through that agent on the other phone.
No, good.
On the
Good.
other
And
end of
there's
the line.
English and Spanish speaking
Definitely,
agents.
English and
That's
Spanish.
important in here, and I know there's a lot of people still, even to this day, the computers are a lot more user-friendly.
Right.
Pretty soon you're going to be able to talk to them, they'll do whatever you want.
Yeah.
That's right around the corner. But
Not
for right
far.
now, for some people that are still frozen by that, that's good to know, because a lot of people just won't do that.
Yeah,
If it's
definitely.
online, but there is somebody on the phone.
There is someone
that
on
they
the
can
other end
help
of the
them.
line that will walk you through it or take your application over the phone.
Okay, do we ask this, Drew? I don't know, how do people participate in other New Mexico Gas Company energy efficiency programs?
I believe and I can just refer them again. You go to the website, nmgco.com, look for Rob in the banner. That's going to take you to our page where we have all of our energy efficiency offerings. For those that don't have online access, though, feel free to give us a call. Toll-free line is 1-888-NM-GASCO, and that's 888-664-2726, and that's a toll-free number.
Boy, important information there. We got one more question for you here. Does New Mexico Gas Company offer energy efficiency programs for commercial customers as well, or just residential customers?
Yeah, good question. And I believe I had touched on that real briefly at the beginning. We do offer commercial customers energy efficiency programs, as well as our schools in our service territory as well, through our SCORE program, and that's Schools Conserving Resources. Our commercial solutions program and SCORE programs work very similar together. They both offer a slew of prescriptive rebates, which is pretty much your basic rebate of you buy this, you get this. So what happens is customers that are looking to save money and energy in their businesses or schools can go online, look at the qualified products that we offer incentives on, whether it's space heating, water heating, commercial food service type equipment, figure out what that incentive is, find the model that they wish to purchase off of. We have qualified product listings on our website so customers can understand exactly if the item they're looking at purchasing is eligible for a rebate, and make that purchase, have it installed, submit your rebate, and 4 to 6 weeks you'll get a check in the mail from New Mexico Gas Company.
Well, if that's not incentive enough, people love getting checks in the mail, Drew.
Definitely.
For something that my dad used to wait for his checks. I still remember his Social Security checks, and he expected them at a certain time. And if
Right.
they weren't there, he was disappointed.
We're pretty prompt. We like to pride ourselves on customer service for sure.
I'll tell you something, Drew. We're at the end of our questions, but why don't you wrap this up? New Mexico Gas Company Energy Efficiency Rebate Program. Wrap the whole show up for us, and
Gotcha.
we'll go from there.
Okay. New Mexico Gas Company Energy Efficiency Programs, a great way to help residential and commercial customers both save energy, save money. We have, for residential programs, we have furnaces, water heaters, we have insulation program, we have our low flow shower head program, we have our New Mexico Mortgage Finance Authority program, which is our Energy Smart program, and it's income qualified weatherization assistance. So those are all great ways that customers can save money. We encourage people to go to our website, nmgco.com, and learn all about our programs and what they're about, how to participate. It's really simple. Everything is online, but feel free to give us a call. Again, in the metro, it's 697-3335 to get more information on any of our programs, or if you need any assistance in getting started in any of your home improvement projects, please feel free to give us a call.
Drew Jones, Senior Program Developer at New Mexico Gas Company. Thanks so much for being our guest. You have a lot of great information. Really appreciate it.
Thanks a lot, Ed.
You bet. For the Department of Senior Affairs, I'm Ed Nunez.